Hey everyone, welcome back to John's Watch. Today I'm going to be talking about a game called Until Then. This game was released on Steam on June 25th, 2024. Its regular price is $25.99 Canadian, or the regional equivalent, and it's developed by Polychroma Games and published by Maximum Entertainment. This is an extremely narrative-driven game. It's a little bit visual novel. One of the main tags, one of the top tags for it on Steam is interactive fiction, which I think, describes it pretty well. So because of that, this is probably going to be a fairly short video. Normally in these kind of post-commentary videos, I like to try and talk about the story and the gameplay. Some of the gameplay in this is just reading text like a visual novel, not too much to talk about there. But the story, I don't want to talk about it very much in this video because it is really, really excellent and would be far better experienced for yourself than hear me very quickly summarize it. So I've had this game for a while, and I've had a deadline for when I need to do my video on it, and I've been getting closer and closer to the deadline, and I just haven't been able to finish it in time. I thought I'd finished it at one point, and then it turns out that I hadn't actually finished it. There was still more to do and to experience in it. So as of the time of recording this video, I have 13.7 hours in it. The how long to beat estimates are very, very varied. It says how long to beat the main story is 14.5 hours. So theoretically I'm close to that, but I have been doing some extras. So the main story and extras category is about 16 hours. And then completionist somehow just doubles that time, and it's about 29 hours. So I think I've probably got about 2.5, 3 hours left to go, but I was just running out of time to get the video recorded and edited in time for my deadline. So I would have loved to 100% finish the game before doing this video, but I've played enough to know that it's very, very good. It's currently sitting at overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. Out of the 1,334 reviews, 98% of them are positive. So you can see right away as you go to the store page that it's a very special game. If you just go to the store page and you look at the screenshots, you might be, as I was, instantly reminded of a game from last year, 2023, called A Space for the Unbound. Just looking at the both store pages, you look at the screenshots, look quite similar. They've both got a really nice pixel art style. And when I first saw the store page, I really did think, oh, this is a take on a very similar game and story to A Space for the Unbound. I liked that game, didn't love it, but I liked it, and so I was interested in taking a look at this. A Space for the Unbound was set in Indonesia, so it was a very unique setting and kind of cast of characters. You don't normally see those in games. Until Then is set in the Philippines, so kind of similar in that way. It's another very unique setting with kind of, again, a cast of characters you don't normally see. You play as Mark Borja. He's a high school student at a Philippines high school. A little bit of background is that recently, and you find this out from literally scrolling through Facebook on Mark's phone. It's very, like I said, interactive fiction really does sum it up very well, because you get all these, get these extra details from scrolling through his phone, texting friends, doing all these kinds of mini games. But recently there was an event called The Ruling, which was basically a series of horrific natural disasters, a lot of earthquakes. It's really devastated the area of the Philippines that they're in. So that's kind of the background setting for what kind of world you're playing through in this game. The game starts off with the class president, Louise, texting Mark, asking if he's finished the slides for their presentation, and it's completely slipped Mark's mind that he had to prepare slides for this book report they're doing. So you have this whole text conversation with Louise on your phone. You meet your other group partner on the train on the way to school. You have to buy your ticket on the way. Like I said, very, very interactive. When you get to school, you and the other member of your group, Ryan, very quickly put together some slides and you've got options, various dialogue choices on how you want to do the slides. You can play it very seriously, you can fill it with memes, and there's even an achievement for making a slideshow that's entirely memes, which is very funny. So again, I don't want to go much into the story past that, but it obviously gets a lot deeper and more meaningful than just forgetting to do a slideshow and a book report. Just to give you a sense for how much deeper it gets, I've been playing this on my Steam Deck. Runs really well on the Steam Deck, by the way. There was literally one section of the game so far that's dropped below 60 FPS. It's very battery hungry, so if I leave it on 60 FPS, I get probably on average about 2 hours of playtime out of it before my Steam Deck battery is gone. But you can set the refresh rate to 40 Hertz, which gives you kind of an extra 30% of your battery. So if you want to play it for longer, drop the frame rate down to 40. I'm fine with just playing 2 hours max when I play it, so I've just been leaving it at 60. But yeah, I've been playing it on my Steam Deck in bed before I go to sleep at night, so that's why I only play a max of 2 hours. It's never 2 hours. And one of my play sessions did probably go pretty close to 2 hours. And during that play session, the story was so moving and emotional that I literally cried at this game 2 separate times in this one session. And I can't think if I've ever cried at a video game, honestly. I've played all the Life is Strange and things like that. I love walking simulators and visual novels. But yeah, this game, it really is that special and that evocative and emotional and moving. Story-wise and sort of characters-wise, it does make me think of Clanad a fair bit. Obviously another very emotional, story-driven game. I don't fully know why. I get kind of Studio Ghibli vibes a little bit from it. But yeah, I wouldn't call it Clanad meets Ghibli. It's very much its own thing, honestly. But yeah, Clanad just kind of stuck in my head as I started playing it, really. Like I mentioned very briefly, there are a lot of, I guess you could call them mundane mini-games in here. One of the mini-games you do is you have a little wooden skewer stick, and you have to pick, I think they're fish balls out of a food cart, because you're eating fish balls with your friend. So you have to line them up and pick them out. There's also kind of a rhythm game DDR kind of section where you have to play a song on the piano. Piano is very, very integral to this story, and Mark is an aspiring pianist. And so you have to do kind of Rock Band Guitar Hero, playing through a song on the piano. That's just another mini game. At one point you go to a local festival and you do, you throw darts, you toss coins onto a board, things like that. There's loads of mini games, and they really do spice up the gameplay and really make it feel very, very interactive. One of the key features they list on the store page is you immerse yourself in a cinematic visual experience, and that is 100% true. The visuals are fantastic. There's the shadows. The shadows are so good. It's pixel art. The refresh rate of every character is very low. They've only got a few frames per animation kind of thing. The lighting and the shadows is incredible, but something they don't actually brag about on the store page, and that they should, is the sound design is just phenomenal in this game. Kind of background sound is something I tend to notice. I went to film school, I did a little bit of post-sound work, and I found it very, very fascinating, and it's something I've noticed ever since then. And so background sound, I feel is something that's very heavily focused on in film and TV and stuff like that, but less so in video games. And then to play this indie game and see the highest quality background sound I've ever heard in a game was just a lovely surprise. They have paid so much attention to creating, sourcing the best Foley sound effects. So for example, one of the scenes later on is Mark goes to a friend's house for dinner with the friend's parents. And so like he's just like standing in the living room while the parents are getting the dinner ready in the next room. And just when you're standing there, you're standing still, you can hear the buzzing of a fan because it's hot. You can hear the sounds of cars outside, and sometimes, like if it's a nighttime scene, you'll hear the sound of a car go by, and you'll even see the lights like flash through the room as it's driving past. Just ridiculous level of detail. You can, I think you hear like insects outside. You hear kind of the bustle of people outside. You hear the clattering of cutlery in the kitchen. Occasionally you'll hear like, an indistinguishable spoken word from the kitchen as the parents are talking to each other. And this is in practically every scene. There's all these layers of background sound that make it feel so alive, and it's something you don't see in a lot of video games, I don't think. And I was just blown away, and they've kept up that level of detail throughout the whole game. It's really, really impressive. So this video did end up being a little bit longer than I was expecting, which is good because I still didn't talk about the story like at all. I don't want to say anything more than I've said about the story because it is just phenomenal. It is absolutely worth playing. I would recommend anybody who is even remotely interested in story-driven games and emotive narratives, try this game out. It's fantastic. It's one of the best games I've played this year. There you go, those are my thoughts as of almost finishing the game on Until Then. Thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!